We've all heard how meditation and yoga helps to calm the mind. But what if you cannot get into that practice? Ayurveda has a very basic solution to take care of your sense organs. Specific Ayurvedic therapies for each Jñānendriyas, that is, for the nose, for the sense of smell, Nasya, sense of taste, Gandusha, Kavala, Jiva, Lekhana, for skin, sense of touch, Abhyanga, Shirodhara, for the sense of hearing, Karnapuran, for the eyes, sense of sight, Netra Tarpana, Anjana. So each of these therapy works to clear blockages, rejuvenate the pathways and balance the dosha, especially Vata, resulting in a calmer, clearer, more focused mind. The senses are the window, mind is the room. So clean windows bring in clear light. Can taking care of sense organs, that is your Jñānendriyas, help in calming the mind, improving memory, perception and cognition? Our senses, through the sense organs, are the gateways to your mind. They serve as portals connecting the outer experiences to the inner world. We constantly receive information in the form of sight, smell, sound, taste, and touch. How well we receive, filter, and process this input determines whether the manas, your mind, is calm and there's clarity, or it spirals into a chaos. When the senses are clear and balanced, we can focus better, stay present, leading to a calmer, happier mind. So in Bhagavad Gita, we use the famous Krishna-Arjun chariot analogy to illustrate the relationship between the senses, mind, and the intellect. So the five senses are compared to the horses, constantly seeking stimulation. The mind is represented by the reins that control the horses, the senses. But often the mind itself is pulled and swayed by the senses. The intellect, that is the buddhi, is the charioteer, responsible for decision making and for directing the mind. The intellect can be influenced by sensory impulses and emotions via the mind. In a state of ignorance or lack of self-awareness, what Ayurveda calls prajnaprad, that is mistake of the intellect. The intellect is not fully engaged and the mind becomes reactive, distracted, and the senses overpower your mind. This is like a charioteer who is asleep or inattentive, allowing the horses, your senses in this case, to run wild, causing the chariot, basically you yourself, to veer off the course. So when this happens, the senses driven by desires, attachments, or by asat mendriya samyog, that is the improper or excessive use of the senses, which will not only disturb the senses but also the mind, your inner peace, clarity. And in today's modern world, this disconnection is only amplified. Our senses are constantly overstimulated, whether it's excessive screen time, loud music, through headphones, harsh chemicals on the skin, or diets overloaded with sweets and processed foods, and constant exposure to polluted, chemical-laden air and nose. All this leads to blockages of the indriyas, the senses, disrupting how we perceive and interact with the world. From a scientific perspective, each sense organ is directly connected to the brain via specific nerves, and each of the five senses is processed in distinct brain regions. When these pathway functions optimally, sensory input is accurately integrated, allowing the body to release appropriate neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, and reducing cortisol. Now, this neurochemical balance supports memory, focus, mood, and emotional resilience. So in Ayurveda, the indriyas, that is the sense faculties, the sense organs, and the manas, the mind, are deeply interconnected. In fact, the manas is considered the sixth indriyas because it processes, interprets, and responds to the input of the other five. So when the indriyas, the senses, are impaired or overstimulated, the manas, the mind, becomes agitated, resulting in distorted perception, mental agitation, cognitive dullness. And when the senses are nourished and clear, the manas becomes sattvic, calm, steady, and luminous. Clear perception supports the rise of sattva, that is clarity and peace, while sensory imbalance increases the rajas, the restlessness, the tamas, the dullness, the confusion. So how do we take care of these senses and thereby our mind? So one, yoga offers pratyahar, the withdrawal of senses from the external distractions. It allows the manas to turn inwards, helping to reset the sensory system and foster clarity and calm. Second, meditation, dhyan, that works by directly stilling the manas, the mind. As the mind quiets, the Jñānendriyas, your senses, become more balanced and refined, leading to sharper cognition, better memory, and deeper perception. But what if you cannot sit still? Ayurveda provides specific sense therapies Indriya Chikitsā that target each of the Jñānendriyas, each of the sense organs. These therapies involve oil-based or cleansing treatments that nourish the nadis, the neural and sensory pathways between the Indriyas and the brain, rejuvenates the Majja Dhatu, the nervous tissue and marrow, balances Vata dosha, which governs all sensory and neural activity. When Vata becomes aggravated in the sense organs, it can manifest as anxiety, depression, memory loss, or hallucinated perception. We've all experienced the deep calm after a good oil massage, the Abhyanga. So from an Ayurvedic lens, this pacifies Vata. From a physiological point, it is the twak, the skin, that is the touch sense, sending soothing signals via the nerve endings to the brain, stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system, lowering the stress hormones, releasing the calming neurotransmitters like endorphins, oxytocin. In the next few videos, we'll explore each of these Ayurvedic therapies for each senses in detail and how to integrate them into your self-care rituals for better memory, clarity, and emotional well-being.